Hi, I'm Mark and I'm passionate about English. Okay, so it's August the 1st, 2013. So for today's lesson, I'm actually going to do a review of the July lessons. So I'll just give you one expression from each lesson, and I'll make them my explanations really clear so a native English speaker would easily get these. If you haven't been watching all the lessons, maybe it's a good chance to watch them first and then try to do this. Or maybe you're an extremely good English speaker and you'll know them anyway. And don't forget, these, although I put these lessons on each day, they're basically there forever. Okay, and also I want to tell you that this is the last month now of the mini lessons. I did a daily mini lesson in June and July. I'll do them again in August, and then I'll just put occasional free mini lessons on Facebook and YouTube. And then I'll be, if you go to my website, passionateaboutenglish.com, you'll find all the details of my courses beginning in September. So each course will be kind of 4 times 3 hours, so about 12 hours each month. And if you're watching this after September, it's not connected with the month. It's just that I'll put them up at the beginning of each month. So course 1 will be about 12 hours, course 2 will be about 12 hours, and so on. And they're very, very cheap. I haven't completely decided, but probably £10 for each course, about 12 hours. And depending on which country you're in, of course, sometimes you can pay £20, £25 just for one lesson. And of course, with these lessons, you can also watch them more than once, and I would really recommend you watch them more than once, and also watch them or listen to them without looking at the captions. So it'll just seem like a piece of cake after a while, the more often you listen to them. So although I'm explaining a lot of expressions, also for me the whole point of this is that you become a better listener and your ears will become more accustomed to listening to English. And I'm putting in a lot of expressions, so when you watch TV or listen to the radio or watch a movie or listen to a song, you'll start hearing these expressions and for sure you will understand them. I'm often amazed, I teach some expressions in one lesson, then I'm reading the newspaper or a magazine or watching the TV, and there are those expressions, and you'll find that more and more. Of course, it takes a long time to learn English 100%, or maybe you can never learn it absolutely 100%, because there's a lot of cultural things in English too, which, unless you grew up your whole time in an English-speaking country, would be difficult to understand. But if you can go from 20% to 30%, or 50% to 60%, 80% to 99%, of course, that's fantastic. And two other things. I will put the answers to the songs or the bits of songs I hummed in July, and also the Beatles questions in a lesson soon, within the next few lessons. And the last thing to tell you before we start the review is that this month I will continue doing some interviews, which I think are ideal for you to see people speaking naturally, and also then you've got the different expressions. So I'll put that on. But also in August, I'm going to start getting a bit more serious. I've been kind of playing around a little bit, especially in June, wearing a wig and different costumes, and also enjoying myself and trying to make the lessons fun in July. But in August, I'm going to start giving you a taste of what's going to be in the courses. So one lesson, I'll look at a song. Another lesson, maybe I'll read a magazine article and look at the language used in that. Look at some pronunciation. I'll still do phrasal verbs and idioms. I'll ask you to watch something on YouTube and then explain a lot of the language used, and then ask you to watch it again so it'll seem much easier, and so on. I really want to make this as good as possible to help you with your English in a unique, amusing and useful way. Okay, so let's begin with the expressions. I'll do one from each lesson. So starting with the first mini lesson in July. If someone says a lot of bad things about me, yeah, and I say I don't mind, I don't care, it doesn't bother me. We would say it's like water off a Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a type of bird. So it's like water off a So if I say that's two words. If I say that's one word. Okay, let's say my friend just split up or broke up with his girlfriend, and I say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but there's plenty more in the Okay, that should be pretty easy. The next one from the third mini lesson in July. Somebody says to me, Mark, do you fancy a drink tonight? And I say, I'm really busy. I just can't make it. I've got a lot on my All right. And actually, very similar. If you're from the next mini lesson, if you're very, very busy, you could say, I'm up to my And actually, there are two possibilities, or even three possibilities there, and they are all parts of the body. And we'd often say with work, for example. So I'm up to my with work. All right. Maybe two girls are talking, and one of the girls has got a new boyfriend, and the other girl's having a look at a photograph, or maybe she met him the day before, and she thinks, wow, he's great. He's quite a All right. Okay, here's a nice one. If you are very, very hungry, you could say to the person or people you're with, I could eat a Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a type of, it's an animal. All right. Let's say you've got a visitor staying with you, and they're really messy, and they don't help at all. And you are speaking to your friend on the phone, and you say, oh, I hope he goes soon. He's driving me round the All right. Okay, so once again, I've chosen the different idioms or expressions to explain to you in this mini lesson, but I haven't really thought about them before, so I'm doing them off the top of my head. So I need to think quickly. I need to be on the Okay, that was in the racquetball lesson. Okay, I explained before in the next mini lesson that if you know something very, very well, for example, I've lived in Bournemouth for 13 years, and because I had a business which involved driving, I know many of the roads in Bournemouth. I could say nearly all the roads in Bournemouth. So I could say I know Bournemouth like the of my Okay. easy one. If you get up early in the morning, we could say you are an Okay, so someone who wakes up early and gets up maybe 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7, even if you don't have to. Of course, if you have to go to work, then you have to get up. Well, I already said that one. So early. So basically, the expression is an early. And to give you a clue, I've got 7 behind me. All right. If I think I gave the example, you are working for a company and the company's got some problems and they're going to have to make some people redundant or lay them off, and you are talking to your colleague and you're worried, and your colleague says, well, we are all in the Okay. This was one of the more popular lessons. I was talking to a couple who were sort of down in this area for a few days, staying at a beach hut. And I said, when they go back to work or to their home, somebody could ask them, how was your holiday? How was your break? And they could say it was just what the Okay, it's quite windy today. Unfortunately, our heat wave has ended. It's supposed to be hot again tomorrow, but fingers crossed. All right, another very popular lesson was in the pet shop, and I was asking Ruby, are you a So it means somebody who goes out a lot to parties, to clubs, and enjoys themselves a lot. So you would say, and she said she is a All right. Let's say for this expression, somebody says to me, oh, Mark, did you hear... If we don't really need to say the name, we often say so-and-so. So, did you hear so-and-so is getting married? And I say, yes, I heard it straight from the Okay, that's another one which involves an animal. Now, somebody comes to me with a problem, and they're really worried about it, and I say, why don't you stop worrying? Why don't you just on it? Okay, that's extremely easy, I think. Yeah, so it means stop worrying now, on it, and then you can, your mind may be clearer tomorrow, and you can make a decision. All right, if you fall in love and you feel it's very, very strong, you can say, I've fallen over with her. Little clue, both words are body parts. All right, this was mini lesson 47. I was talking to a couple who have several koi, the big fish, and one of the expressions was very similar. I think I used it in the holiday mini lesson too, and it's when you say, okay, I'll just give you one word or miss out one word here to make it obvious. So, how was your holiday? It was fantastic. I had a of a time. Okay, this was the lesson in the in my corner shop, mini lesson 48. Let's say, let's say about my camper van, which I thought was a real bargain, and so I'm telling someone how I thought it was very cheap, I could say it didn't cost an and a Alright. This was mini lesson 49. I was in the beer garden of the Richmond Arms. And the example I gave was I was talking to Paul. And just as an example, if it was the first time we went there, but we didn't think it was anything special, maybe we wouldn't go there again. So I said it's nothing to about. Okay, as I said, a British or a native English speaker would easily get these. Alright, I'm going to do two from mini lesson 50, which was with Nobber again in the Richmond Arms, different day. It's when you go out for a meal, could be boyfriend and girlfriend, or could be just two friends, and you pay for what you had, what you ate, what you drank. So it's different to go halves, where you pay 50-50, or of course if there were four people, 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. But in this case, you just pay for what you had. So if one person had a lot more, then they pay a lot more. So it's to go And the other word from this mini lesson is if you've had a little bit of alcohol, so you're not drunk, but you are feeling influence, or we say under the influence of the alcohol, but just in a small way. It's a very nice word, and well, depending on your culture and so on, it's actually quite a nice feeling. Alright, the next one was when I was kind of, well, I wasn't in the sea because the tide had gone out, but I was sort of in that area. And I gave the example of, because it's a very rich area there, a lot of wealthy people. And I said if I was invited to a party there, they would all have a lot of money, expensive house, expensive car, and probably many of them very beautiful. So I would feel like a out of Alright, the next one was, well, I can't say it, what the mini lesson was about, because that will be too easy. But if a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend argue a lot, we would say they fight like and Alright, and the last page here. This was, again, very popular lesson with Haley, mini lesson 53. It's when somebody in the family doesn't quite fit, or is a bit different, or maybe does bad things also, but doesn't have to be bad things. They're just different to the rest of the family. We would say he or she is the of the family. Alright, the next one was to do with the new son of William and Kate. And it's when it's something is very, very easy. I think I gave you the example, Real Madrid played Bournemouth a week or so ago. And if something is very easy, it's like taking from a And if you see my videos on Facebook, I often add other little things, songs and clips. And actually, there are a lot of clips on YouTube which show how difficult this is. So it's an expression to mean easy, but actually it's not so easy. Mini lesson 55 was with Clive, and he was talking about his girlfriend and how he has a lot of these. But let's say you go for dinner with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, and it's really, really special. And they say something very nice to you, or maybe propose. Propose means, will you marry me? And for you, that is a moment. It's easy. All right. Yes, this was the lesson with Sonia, and I gave the example of her daughter saying, "Oh, I've finished with my boyfriend. I've broken up with him. I've split up with him. I'm really sad. What shall I do?" And Sonia could have said to her daughter, "It's not the of the All right, mini lesson 57 was with Jason, and he was talking about, he was trying to chat up a girl in Tesco's. Tesco's is one of the biggest supermarket chains in Britain, or actually I think it's the biggest, and he just wasn't getting anywhere. So he came up against a Mini lesson 58 was with Adele, who was running a stall, my old business, Riverford. And, well, basically I asked her, "Are you as cool as a So it means you don't get annoyed, you don't get worried, you don't get stressed. Are you as cool as a Alright, mini lesson 59. If you're joking with someone, kind of teasing them, we would say, "Stop pulling my Okay. Alright, mini lesson 60 was with Catherine, and all about heart expressions. And the example we used was, if you meet someone for the first time, or something quite exciting, we would say, "My heart, And it's the first word there are two possible words. So my heart, Okay, and the last one was mini lesson 61, is when you make a mistake at work or any time. So, for example, let's say I'm recording this mini lesson and I forgot to turn on the microphone. It has happened once or twice. And then speaking to my friend, I say, "Oh no, up." Okay, and there are a few possibilities here. Up. Okay, and make sure the verb is in the past for this one, because we are talking about the past, obviously. Okay, so that is your mini lesson review, and I will give the answers to all these soon. Probably not in the next couple of mini lessons, but very soon. But yes, I think if you've been watching them, they should all be fairly easy, or a piece of cake, or easy peasy, or a doddle. Alright, and I've said those expressions a few times, so again, if you've been watching the mini lessons all the way through, those expressions you'll just know what they mean straight away. And that's really what I'm aiming at. I want you to really understand all these expressions. Ideally, or hopefully, you would use them. And when I was teaching English before, I often said, use it or lose it. So the more you do something or say something, or use these idioms, the more chance that you will remember them. But even if you don't use them, you will hear them and recognize them when you hear them. And as I've said many times, the problem with idioms is they don't mean what they sound like. So I could eat a horse doesn't mean you could eat a horse. It just means, I gave the answer away to one of them. Yes, I won't say any more, just in case you didn't get that. Okay, so that's it, and I'll start making lots of lessons in August, which give you a taste of what's going to be in the courses. The website's still not ready for you to pay for the courses yet, but within a few weeks you should be able to do that. And of course it will be PayPal, but as I said, very, very cheap, and I would be very happy if you just try the first course, and I'm sure you will be delighted. Alright, thanks for today, thanks for watching, and see you in the next mini lesson. Bye for today.